Ladies and gentlemen, throughout the show, I have been saying I'm going to be interviewing a very, very special guest. Well, she's here with me right now. I'm honored to be interviewing a brand new rising star who goes by the name of Mullah, and already in a male-dominated industry where we predominantly see male artists in the charts, she has been getting in there and she's managed to grab number 5 in the UK rap charts with her brand new single. Not only is she an artist, but actually she's a renowned international public speaker, and I think it's phenomenal. I can't wait to hear about your journey. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce the one and only Mullah. How are you doing today?
I'm good, girl. Why? Apple gas, the way that you've introduced me. Come on, come on. I'm feeling so pumped and so excited. And this is my first ever radio interview as Mullah. So I'm excited. You've got the debut, like that. So I'm excited to be, starting off and kicking this off with you and on this show as well. Big up you every time.
I feel special. Big up you. I want to know about you. So tell us about your journey. Like, where are you from?
Okay, I'm East London, born and raised, Newham. I always shout out, East London, because sometimes I'll be in a certain conversation like, I thought you was from South. I'm like, nah, brethren, I'm from the EE. You get me? I'm from the EE. Yeah, so literally my background in terms of, career-wise, I've been doing public speaking since the age of 16. And, I've had the opportunity to be flown out to Microsoft. I worked out of Microsoft in Redmond, Washington, worked with their senior leaders. I've worked with senior leaders, CEO of Unilever, managing director of JP Morgan, KPMG, having an office. These are still some of my clients. So I have not stopped speaking. I still do speaking.
That's amazing. Like, you casually just dropped some of the biggest corporation names.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the fact that I've had the opportunity to step into these rooms and challenge perceptions. That's what I do. I challenge narratives. And when I jumped into music, everyone was like, what, so you stopped speaking? I said, no, I've never stopped speaking. I'm still going to use my music to speak, but I'm speaking in a different way now. And I grew up listening to music. I grew up writing bars. I grew up singing. Music's always been my first love. But one of the things, and I guess as a woman, we can have this kind of conversation. I feel like one of the things that I experienced is I was boxed a lot. So I felt like I couldn't stem into music because it's like, no, but you're a speaker. Public speaking is what you need to pursue, and that's what you need to stay in. So for a long time, I literally just boxed myself, and I allowed other people to put their opinions and I don't know how to explain it, like their opinions and their boxing onto me. So I took that and was like, yeah, do you know what? You're right. Let me just stick to the speaking thing, because why should I go into music? And then, you have this narrative like you're doing too much. And, I've been into certain rooms where, listen, I'll own it. Cool. Yes, I'm a speaker. I've worked with some of the biggest clients in the world, some of the biggest leaders in the world. I've spoken in some of the biggest stadiums in the world. So I've spoken in front of 15,000 people at Wembley Arena. So these are the things that are under my roster.
Yes, I'm literally holding it, like trying to let you talk so that people can hear, but I can't contain my happiness. That is amazing. Share that. And with your chest high, like you said, own that.
But you know what? That's the thing. Like, I've been in places where I've owned it and people be like, you're cocky. And I'll be like, no, I'm not. I'm just confident. And as a woman, I want to actually empower other women to be confident, to own their gifts, own their talents, pour out. One of the things that triggered me to step into music last year was when Chadwick Boseman died. Because this man left the world empty. We're in a pandemic. There's a lot of things that you're thinking about, and you're thinking, you know what, like, when that time does come, when I need to meet my creator, can I actually say that I've given everything to the world? And that's what I felt Chadwick done. He gave everything. Like, this guy was doing acting whilst he was on chemo in stage 4. He had a terminal illness, but he was still acting and giving everything to the world. But, as a woman as well, we are givers. Our anatomy gives, our anatomy nurtures, our anatomy is to give. So who am I to hold back in what I've been created to do? I've been created to give. So for me, I want to empower other women. I want to empower other women. Thank you. And, and I'm so excited because when literally I was speaking to my manager and they were like, yeah, Laughta wants to interview you. I was like, yeah, let's do it. I was like, no, I'm going to do it because I literally said I want to be able to, especially because I know you're a real advocate for women in the industry. So for me, I want to connect with the women who are on the same path as me, same alignment. And it's not to come and say, you know, I don't support my brothers. I am an only girl. I've got brothers, you know what I mean? So I've been in a place where I'm the only girl in the room. I've been in a place where I'm the only Black woman in the room. I've been in a place where, you know, I'm the minority. But being a minority doesn't limit me in, you know, using my story to empower the majority. And the majority that I want to focus on right now is women, not music, not just women in music, women in speaking, women in radio, women in STEM, women in engineering. I'm hoping that my story would just empower women to not box themselves, not to limit themselves.
I think it's so inspiring what you're talking about, and it's literally along the lines exactly the same. It feels like I was meant to meet you. We're very similar.
Yes.
We do similar things with Women in Control, where you are definitely going to be getting involved. Like literally, we were just talking about that thing where women have to downplay their achievements or not shout out about their achievements. We're meant to just be quiet because, like you said, you're going to be seen as someone that's too egotistical, too cocky. Who does she think she is? She can't be a public speaker as well as an artist. So why can Jay-Z go and be a billionaire and own so many different platforms and do music? What's the difference between a male and a female? What we're not supposed to do that. We're not supposed to give, like you said. Yeah. So I think it's really important that you're aware of that and you're actually practicing it, and never feel you have to, as a advice from someone that even I need to take my own advice sometimes, and I fully relate to you as an artist. I felt I've had to downplay my achievements and my successes that I've had and over explain why I deserve that. Never feel like you have to over explain nothing. No one owes you nothing and you don't owe no one nothing. You just do your job, literally.
Come on.
Go and achieve.
And I love that.
Yeah.
I love what you're saying, because even when I was looking at what's under your belt, I was like, cool, artist, producer, you know, you're doing Women in Control. I was like, big up you every time. And one thing I love, the reason why I was like, yeah, definitely want to speak with you and connect with you is because I love that you're multifaceted. That's the word that I love. I love multifacetedness. I love that a woman is, because that's what we're created to be. We're created to be multifaceted. Like, we are created to multitask. We're created to be multi. We do so many things. We've got so many hats on, and that's okay to own that. So why should I be in a place where I'm disowning what I've literally been birthed to do, created to do?
I'm angry that that's the reason you've actually not released music, because what I heard, as soon as I heard the song, I was like, who, what? Why have I not heard of this person before? Wow. And I've gone back and I've listened to it. It's such a vibe. Your delivery is so on point. Now, yeah, but so with let's talk about your music, you know, because your transition from, it seems from not even transition, just moving on to do something on top of your public speaking hasn't been the easiest for you, but you've actually done it and you've achieved something amazing as a woman. And like you said, as a Black woman, which you have your own challenges in itself, and you've managed to top and get into the UK charts with a debut single. How did you like feel learning about that?
Boy, let me tell you right now, sister, I was gassed. I was gassed because it was like, I remember when everything even dropped and everyone was asking me, yo, like, how do you feel, Hells? And I said, I feel numb. I feel numb. You, like, no one's ever gonna understand how, like, I've been praying for this moment for years. Like, all my friends know, like, Hales, like, my nickname, even how my artist came about. My last name's Melinda. So obviously Hayley Melinda is who the clients introduced me as. But my friends call me Mullah Melinda. So they call me Mullah Mullah. So it's like, oh yeah, just Mullah Mullah, because they know I'm about the money, down about the bag, like, you know, working with some of the clients. I have to be, as I said, I'm coming into not even just a male-dominated industry in music, I'm in a male-dominated industry in speaking. So there's certain times when I have to demand a certain price from my clients. I'm like, no, this is my fee. I said what I said. And they're like, huh? Like, who's this woman to come in? No, I'm a businesswoman. So even being in where I'm like, where I'm about my business, that's where the nickname came about, Mullah Mullah. So that's why I thought, let me just cut it short and call it Mullah. You know, like Mullah, like that's my name, innit? Because I'm about the Mullah. I'm about owning the fact that I make money, helping other people make money. Because one of the things that I do as well on the side is I coach other women to get paid speaking engagements. Like, I help other women secure the bag. So for me, it's like, nah, I'm living up to my name. It's not I'm securing a bag for myself. I'm like, everyone's eating on my table, you know, like that. So in terms of how I felt, I just felt free. I literally said, I feel like a fish in the sea and I can just swim anywhere. Like at that point, I literally came into the sky is not the limit. At that point, I have this phrase where I'll come and say, the sky is not the limit when heaven is backing you. Like, if you really believe that, you know, you are doing what you're called to do, the sky's not the limit because you got heaven backing you.
So then
But yeah,
saying that, so someone that has maybe experiencing similar things to you, that's like doesn't feel confident enough because it's potentially held back by the opinions of others. What made you, what was that step then for you to be like,
yeah.
nah, I'm doing it? What would you say to them? How did you snap out of that? And what would you say for them not to, like, to help them?
I love that you said this because I actually had a TikTok that went viral. I did not expect it because I'm not that big on TikTok. And I literally was talking about this in terms of one of the biggest, the pandemic isn't the biggest issue that I saw in 2020. It was the fear of man, and how there's a lot of people who, you know, they're always concerned about what other people think or what other people are going to say. And it makes them hold back in who they're called to be. And I always say one of my most powerful quotes that I've heard by Marianne Williamson, and if you've watched Coach Carter, you'll know this: our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. And when you
I know about that.
Exactly. And when you actually read everything, and she comes and says, you question yourself to say, who am I to be brilliant, talented, gorgeous? Actually, who are you not to be? You're called to shine. And as you shine, you liberate others to shine too. And then when you actually deep that your shining, your confidence, your light is associated with someone else's breakthrough, you'll start to think, do you know what? Am I going to focus on all the people who are telling me my limitations? Or am I going to be the person that's going to remind people of their possibilities? And I had to choose to remind people of their possibilities. Like I had people come and say, oh, Hayley, you're doing too much, or you're coming for people's necks. And I said, I ain't doing this for you. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not doing it for none of. I like my music when I'm creating and when I'm writing bars, and I'm sure you see this as well when you're producing, when you're writing, when you're making music. You're in another zone. So it's like I don't get into that zone for other people. I get into that zone for myself to keep me sane. Like literally before we talk about mental health. Like you've got to make sure you're fulfilled. So I'm creating music because it fulfills me. I'm not really doing it for the views or even for the thing. I thank God that I did chart. I thank God that I got Complex UK. I thank God that I had these different people backing me. But I don't doing it for that. I'm doing it for the fact that at the end of the day, let me be happy. Because 2020 reminded me, thank you. 2020, like that reminded me, above everything, be happy. Above everything, love life. Life is for the living. How many times did you see those tolls go up? Bruv, like that was, you know, yes, we know about death and it's a real thing, but 2020, it slapped a lot of us in the face. Like seeing it every single day, those tolls. Like there got a time when I couldn't watch the news for about 3 months because it was just triggering. But then I'm happy it triggered me to live. I think sometimes you need a reminder that, you know, death is there to trigger you to live. So for me, 2020, I got triggered to live. So I feel more alive than ever.
Well, you're alive and well, and we're happy to see that. And we're super happy to see that. So can we be expecting like more music from you then, saying that?
Yeah. With my chest, I'll say that. We're loaded, man. I'm back in the studio. And, you know, I know a lot of people are like, oh, she's just doing a one thing, like a one-hit wonder. I ain't no one-hit wonder. I'm every wonder. I'm going to come every single time harder, better, because I want to. And as I said, I enjoy making music. So I'm excited to release more stuff. There's definitely a lot more stuff in the pipeline, yeah.
I'm so happy to hear you even speaking so confidently, owning your wins. And this is what the Laughter Gas show is about. It's about celebrating and empowering women. It's like in music, because it's not easy. And you've gone out there and you've proved everyone wrong. And I know that one of your kind of fights is to show that these barriers that are put on us will never stop us from actually excelling. And reading your press, I was very impressed because it clearly you are a testament to that, and you're fighting through, and I know you're going to have a very successful career in music, and I can't wait to see what else you've got. So saying that, I'm really excited to play this absolute banger. It's so confident, understand people. Would you like to introduce your track?
All right, guys, it is Mullah, and I cannot wait to introduce you to my debut single, Prosper. So take it in, reload it, stream it, watch the music video. You know the vibe.